What's up, Cowboys Nation? Today, we have one of the juiciest and most controversial stories hitting the NFL and, more specifically, the Dallas Cowboys. If you've been following the Cowboys closely, you know how Trevon Diggs has become one of the most talked about corners in recent years. He burst onto the scene as a ball hawk, known for his incredible ability to snag interceptions and change games on defense. But now, we're seeing a different kind of headline, one that involves Jerry Jones, the iconic Cowboys owner, dropping a bombshell that has left fans, analysts, and players buzzing with questions and surprise. So what happened? Why is Jerry Jones furious with Trevon Diggs, and what exactly did he say that's got everyone talking? Stick around because this story goes way beyond a simple salary dispute. It touches on expectations, contracts, leadership, injury recovery, and what it truly means to be part of the Cowboys organization. Let's start with the core of the news. Jerry Jones and the Cowboys have officially docked Trevon Diggs, paid by $500,000. That's right, $500,000. This isn't a penalty for poor play or bad behavior in a traditional sense. It's tied directly to a specific clause in Diggs' contract that required him to spend a minimum amount of time, specifically 84.375% of the offseason program at the Cowboys' team facility, known as the Star. Jerry Jones made it crystal clear that because Diggs failed to meet that contractually obligated participation percentage, the Cowboys were enforcing the de-escalator clause, which reduces his base salary from $9 million down to $8.5 million. This move stunned many because Diggs is a star player with a huge contract extension and a big role in the team's defensive plans. But for Jerry Jones, the decision was simple: if you don't earn it, you don't get paid. No exceptions. Now, why did Diggs miss that minimum time at the team facility? This is where the story gets complicated. Trevon Diggs has been dealing with some significant injury issues over the past couple of years. In 2023, he suffered a devastating ACL tear during practice, which sidelined him for the remainder of that season. Most recently, he underwent additional knee surgery in January 2025, a chondral tissue graft, which is a serious procedure meant to repair cartilage damage in the knee. Recovering from these kinds of injuries isn't just a matter of showing up, it's a grueling, personal process. And Trevon chose to do much of his rehab in South Florida, away from the Cowboys' team facilities in Texas. This decision might have been based on medical advice, comfort, or simply what he felt was best for his body. But here's the catch: his contract explicitly required him to be present for most of the off-season activities at the Star, which is where the team's doctors, trainers, and staff can closely monitor progress and ensure alignment with the team's protocols. Missing that meant he was technically in breach of contract, regardless of the injury. Jerry Jones didn't mince words about this during his public comments. In fact, he was pretty direct and even harsh, saying he didn't earn it. He didn't come. That's in his contract. Those words carry a lot of weight. We're talking about a player who's expected to be a leader on and off the field, especially one with Diggs' salary and status. For Jones, being present in the offseason isn't just about meeting contractual obligations, it's about showing commitment, leadership, and being fully integrated with the team culture. Jones' perspective is that a star player should be leading by example, not just suiting up on game day but being there every day, grinding through rehab, working with teammates and staff, and embodying what it means to be a Cowboy. To him, Diggs' absence from the facility feels like a lack of effort or prioritization, and that can't be tolerated, especially at the highest level of the NFL. Diggs, for his part, has responded to this situation, but he's done so carefully. He's made it clear through social media and interviews that the Cowboys were aware of where he was rehabbing the entire time. He stated that he was in constant communication with his medical team and the Cowboys staff about his progress and that his rehab was on track. He also insisted he's feeling good physically and believes he is ahead of schedule in terms of recovery. This is an important point because, for Diggs, it's not just about the money, it's about his reputation, his health, and his future in Dallas. Publicly, he has been diplomatic and measured, saying he's happy in Dallas and focused on getting back on the field. Behind the scenes, though, there are clearly hurt feelings. Having your salary docked by your own team's owner and then being publicly called out isn't easy, especially when you've been battling through serious injuries. The Cowboys are now faced with a balancing act. On one hand, they need Diggs to be healthy and ready to perform at an elite level. On the other hand, they have to enforce their contracts and set a precedent that stars can't just opt out of team obligations without consequences. This sends a message not only to Diggs but to the entire roster: contracts have teeth, and leadership means being present. The team also has to consider how this will impact the locker room vibe. When the owner publicly criticizes a star player, it can either motivate the team to step up or create tension and division, especially if other players start questioning how management handles sensitive issues like injury rehab and player treatment. From a financial perspective, docking $500,000 from a base salary is significant. It's not chump change for anyone, even a multimillionaire athlete. But this kind of enforcement highlights the reality of modern NFL contracts. Big money comes with big responsibilities. We often hear about guaranteed money and signing bonuses, but base salary and incentive clauses are just as important. This de-escalator clause is designed to protect the team's investment by ensuring players are meeting expectations during the off-season. For Diggs, this is a reminder that earning that money requires more than talent, and on-field production it requires dedication and accountability every single day. Health remains a major concern, too. Diggs has missed a lot of playing time due to injury, and it remains to be seen whether he can return to the level of dominance he showed early in his career. The Cowboys have invested heavily in him and see him as a cornerstone of their defense. But injuries, especially to a cornerback whose game relies so heavily on speed, agility, and cutting ability, can be career-altering. The timing of this salary dock also raises questions about whether the team is losing confidence in his ability to stay on the field, or whether this is simply a matter of enforcing standards across the board. What makes this situation even more intriguing is the broader context of Cowboys leadership. Jerry Jones isn't just an owner, he's a hands-on, vocal leader who often publicly shares his opinions. His son, Stephen Jones, is also deeply involved in the team's management. The fact that both of them have reinforced this message about Diggs' absence and the contract clause shows this is a united front. They're sending a signal that even stars aren't exempt from rules, no matter how talented or popular they are. It's a business, and discipline is key. But the public reaction has been mixed. On one side, fans and analysts respect the Cowboys for standing firm on contractual obligations and leadership standards. They point out that Diggs signed the contract knowing the conditions, and it's only fair that the team enforces it. Others, however, feel this is too harsh, especially given Diggs' injury history and the complicated nature of rehab. Some argue that the Cowboys should have handled this internally and privately, without dragging a player through the media mud. They worry that this public criticism could damage the relationship irreparably and impact team morale. Looking forward, the key questions remain. Will Diggs be fully ready for the upcoming season? Reports say he passed his physical and was removed from the PUP list, so that's promising news. But will he be able to stay healthy and perform at the high level everyone expects? How will he respond to this public call-out? Will it motivate him to double down and come back stronger, or will it create tension that impacts his play and his standing within the Cowboys organization? And will this incident change how players approach off-season rehab and contract clauses league-wide? After all, other teams and players are watching closely, and this could set a precedent for enforcing attendance and rehab participation. There's also the emotional side for fans and the Cowboys community. Many admire Trevon Diggs for his talent and toughness. He's been a fan favorite, known for his game-changing interceptions and vibrant personality. Seeing him struggle with injuries and now publicly criticized by Jerry Jones is tough for the fan base. It's a reminder of the brutal business side of the NFL, where even the brightest stars can find themselves in hot water if they don't meet expectations. On the flip side, many fans also appreciate accountability. If you want to be paid millions and be a leader, you have to show up literally and figuratively. Ultimately, this story is far from over. Jerry Jones' words and the Cowboys' actions have laid down a challenge to Trevon Diggs: prove that you belong, prove that you're committed, prove that you can lead through adversity, and prove that you're worth every dollar of that contract. For Cowboys Nation, this is a moment to watch closely, because how this situation plays out could shape the future of the franchise's defense, locker room culture, and player management relations. So, what do you think? Was Jerry Jones justified in docking Trevon Diggs' pay? Should Diggs have been required to rehab exclusively at the team facility? Can Diggs bounce back from injury and this controversy to silence the critics and lead the Cowboys' defense? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear your takes, your hot opinions, your insider insights. If you're as fired up about this drama as I am, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring the bell so you don't miss any updates on this evolving Cowboys saga. I'll be following this closely and bringing you the latest every step of the way. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Cowboys!